So we're going to use the same agenda to finish what we started on the professional development plan for Circuit 3. And I might repeat a couple of things on here just to make sure we've covered it. But we won't have to do the whole thing over again. We'll just basically start where we left off.
Okay.
So what we want to do is work on the practice-based learning objective for the circuit. And I'm kind of excited about this idea that I have to share with you because I had a chance to, a few days to think about it since we met the last time, and I had some time to also to visit with Robin, and really you have a very good idea about helping this one child in the multi-age room who's having some difficult time during the nap time routine. And so the idea is really good, and I also realized that it matches up well with one of the goals on the fidelity summary, the teapot summary. And I wanted to point that out on there. Let's see. Yeah, so these were 3 ideas, and so teacher participates in the development of a behavior support plan by providing functional assessment data to team members. So before I get into the idea, this is an idea that not only can meet your need for learning a new skill, but also will help with my certification to meet that need, and as well as meet needs of the teachers in the classroom and the child. So, and it's a pretty simple process, but it involves the teachers in the room. Eventually it will involve the teachers in the room as equals. So you won't be feeling like you're needing to coach them or tell them anything. It's really, really like the power of peers again. So, and it's using just 2 tools. And it's what it is it starts the process in meeting with the teachers about this child's behavior. It's the beginning of the behavior support plan. And it comes out of the Prevent, Teach, Reinforce for Young Children publication. I know that, I don't have that with me today, but I know we have a copy at the office, and I think, well, I know Mary said that she had ordered one too, sometime last week. So it may already be here, I don't know for sure. And so without getting into too much information about it, because that I can cover in the coaching on topic, but I wanted to throw that out there and see what you thought about that idea.
Well, it's interesting because actually what I was thinking as I was spending time doing this and talking to some other teachers in that room and some of the things that they were saying both about that child and some other children, I thought, I really think that probably what would be more beneficial for, and actually this I was thinking about too because I just did the teapot training. My reason for doing the teapot training was so I can really know and understand. I feel like it didn't necessarily help me know the teapot better, but I really think it helped me understand Pyramid Plus better and what those things being in practice look like. Because there's some things where I'm thinking, yeah, I'm doing it, but the teapot isn't scoring it, so it's where am I missing that? And it's something in the strategy that I didn't pick up in the training. That I picked up. So it was almost like getting a pyramid crash course, or maybe even taking some very specific things from the pyramid, and it's like, what does this really look like?
Right.
implementing in the classroom. And it was different in some occasions, and many of them, it was what I thought it would be. There were some other ones that really surprised me, and I think it's going to help fine-tune my practice to be more practical for the kids and what I'm doing, you know? It started to click together a little bit better for me.
So it sounded like you could see really how the two tie into each other and support each other.
Yeah, and I think what really, it was hard for me to not come from a place of, well, if you guys are coming in and rating, because it's an assessment, and they keep saying this is supposed to assess how you are implementing Pyramid Plus. And so to me that feels like I'm coming in and being tested on my implementation. So if I'm not doing things well, then that's a low score. And yeah, I'm supposed to use that for coaching, but how am I ever supposed to get better and get a higher score on that? Because that's what my goal is that I'm supposed to get higher scores, I'm supposed to get to fidelity. If I don't know what I'm missing, if I don't know what steps I'm missing and why I'm missing them. And so I felt like we were kind of going back and forth with this, well, you know, I don't want you to like know the test and try to play to the test kind of idea. And it's like, but this isn't necessarily a test. It's supposed to be showing me how I'm supposed to be implementing. And if I'm not doing this that way, it doesn't mark that way, and I'm not getting that score. So I had to keep going back and really asking myself, are you trying to just get a good score on the test, or is this really about learning something new? And I kind of went back and forth with some of the things on that, and that's something I'm still kind of working through with. But one of the things that I did think and did come up with is, you know, I keep saying, and this is something I'm always missing personally, is that really writing down the documentation and stuff. And because I like know it in my head, but I know, and so that's something that's been a frustration for me. I feel like, why am I wasting my time with another week or two of marking down things when, you know, I can tell you, yes, this happens every day at Story. I don't have to mark this on paper because I've got a brain and it remembers things. But I'm thinking that maybe one of the reasons why I really need to do that is so I can get over that kind of egotistical part of me that's saying this is worthless. Why am I wasting my time doing this? I can see where the problems are. I know it happens every day before lunch. I know he's trying to get attention. Why do I have to mark some little paper to do that? So what I would like to do is, I'm thinking I need to go back and really do one of those functional behavior assessments. Do that paperwork, do that marking, when's it happening, identifying why it might be happening, do some of those, you know, what happens before, what happens during, what happens after, all those kinds of things. Because I really think it's going to teach me the value of it, not only in what I might be able to see and discover from that, but also in being able to present, to be able to really present something that's very visual and hands-on to somebody else to understand the situation, to help work through, and to be able to show people, yes, this is working. And I know it feels like it's still happening, especially when people are in the middle of something and they feel very frustrated that they don't see that there's been improvements.
Right.
Because they might be very small, you know. It might be that they did it 3 times today instead of 5. But it still feels like all day when you're frustrated by it. But it's like, but really, look. I mean, he did it 10% less this week than he did last week. And this next week, it still stayed at that 10%. We knocked 10% of this off, and we can still keep moving forward, and it might be slow, but we made progress.
Okay. Well, I really appreciate you sharing that with me, and just the fact that you were able to take the teapot training. This wasn't your first time, right?
Well, I had done the old teapot training and stuff.
Right.
Yeah, so this
was
was
the second time.
And this was the new, the new teapot, and it was just a lot more specific, because the old one was a lot about, when we were trained on the old one, it was a lot more about specific practices that you might see about implementation, and this was just which was hard for me. It's really hard, that struggle of it's black and white, it's not gray, it's black and white. and I tend to be able to talk myself into anything and talk myself out of anything, and I tend to make it gray, you know?
Well, and I just want to make a couple of points about what you said is, I mean, you're at a level in your professional development that teapot training is just a really good tool to know how to use, not only for yourself, but to be able to do those in other classrooms if you decide to do that later as part of a team. And we all, I think, have that feeling of, you know, I just want to get 100% on this test. And through these circuits, I've learned that it's okay, Cindy, to not get 100% and to even, you know, how I feel like, oh, I failed, you know, I didn't do this right. But I learned something really valuable through it, you know. So I just want to validate that you said that, because I think we've all had those feelings too. And so your idea, and we can certainly go with that. This too would be a way to gather the information. It would also involve the teachers who are having the problem in a way that wouldn't be judgmental or like you have to do this, because if you decided to do this,
I feel like I need to know what it is.
Okay.
I don't have a clear understanding
Okay, that's
of what
fine.
that is.
Yeah, so I brought that with me. I brought it with me. So the book is Prevent, Teach, and Reinforce.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going to make sure that you have copies of this before I leave. And basically, the part that you would be doing is just Chapter 3, Teaming and Goal Setting. So remember how we talked about there's kind of this 3-month to 4-month process for
Mhm.
behavior support plan. This would be like the beginning. This is what you would do first. And by the same token, it does involve working with your team to figure out what the behaviors are. It's a very simple form to work through as a team, to gather the information and then come up with a plan together. Eventually, coming up with a plan together.
The target behavior is the behavior you want to teach them.
Yes.
Original definition of behavior to increase target behavior.
But we wouldn't go through all of this today. This would be part of the coaching on topic. Today would just be coming up with an objective. If you decided you wanted to do teaming and goal setting with your classroom staff, it would just be that simple, measurable objective of the first step.
Okay, let me think about this now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just thinking teaming and goal setting.
Oh, and before you say anything else, I want to make sure you understand too that it would only involve the actual staff in your class during live coaching. The coaching on topic, you know, I would do. Then the behavior rehearsal, we would be getting a group of people, kind of like we did with the children, where it was just pretend people in the behavior rehearsal.
Mm-hmm.
And then, or the modeling group of people. Same with behavior rehearsal, it'd be a group of people. It doesn't have to be the same group, but it could be if they wanted. And it could be our people from our staff, you know, so that we're not putting extra burden on the teachers here. And then the live coaching would be the actual teachers, it would be the real deal. And by then, you would know exactly what you would be facilitating a meeting, which takes about 60 minutes.
Okay. The only thing that's making me kind of reluctant right now is time. And it's both the time to the end of the month, and it's time with all the other teachers, and who on earth is going to be in that classroom if I'm asking them all to be with me for 60 minutes. And does that involve Emily? Does that involve Eck? Because they are in and out during the summer like I am. So I'm just trying to think about that.
Right, and it doesn't have to be the entire staff. I mean, in a perfect world, you'd want to get as many people who are involved with that child as possible, including the parent. For the purpose of the circuit, it could be as many as who could participate. And even in a real situation, a parent may decide they don't want to be part of the team, but you can still do it. You can still have your team without the parent. It's just nicer. It's just much better if the parent were part of the team.
Yeah, and that was one of the reasons too that I didn't want to do the schedule and try to implement that schedule, because I thought, really, I know before I do that, I would have to meet with parents and talk about that, and I do not want to do that. And the reason why I don't is because I don't feel like it's really warranted with the child. It's kind of like that feeling of I'm referring someone to BOCES because my room arrangement isn't right. And they come in and they're like, it's not the kid, it's the room arrangement, or it's this and this and this that's contributing to these behaviors. So I don't want the parents to get this idea that their child's behavior is at this place where they need these behavior plans, when really is probably what is being needed isn't that the kid needs extra support, but that the teachers need extra support. And those teachers need extra support in working with that child and their relationship with each other. So I don't want the parents to get the wrong idea about their child and how their child's functioning,
Yeah. So I guess what I'm trying to say is you're right. You were right initially about wanting to help a child and the teachers in that situation from the beginning. And I'm not trying to make up your mind, because if you would rather use a different data collection sheet that is part of Pyramid Plus and make that your circuit objective, practice-based learning objective, we can certainly do that.
I think at this time I'm more comfortable with that.
Okay.
Doing a data collection.
Okay.
And then being able to share that data collection with some teachers in the room who are encountering this. And so this is what I'm doing and trying to identify where and when.
Okay.
And then hopefully we'll be able to use this information together to start coming up with some ideas of what to do.
Okay, so I would just say too, to add to this more specific decision, is that definitely one of the strengths associated with the objective is the fact that you took the teapot training again.
It's been a long time since I have done that, and I'd only really I never became reliable on the teapot when I did the training before, and I just done one teapot on one other teacher, so I didn't use the tool a whole lot myself, so that was part of my motivation too.
Okay, and then can you think of any areas of need associated with your learning objective? Or do you want to think about it as we're writing it?
Areas of need? Definitely just the experience. I need experience with it. And I need
experience with collecting.
With actually using the tools. With using actual tools. And I feel like what I need, and why I'm kind of going back to this, especially after that training, I need buy-in. I need to see the importance of using the actual tools instead of just like written observations or reporting. Yeah, it was 3 times during lunch today, you know, that kind of thing.
Right, okay.
And I do think if I just go through the process, then I'm going to see those things.
Okay. So should we start writing this, and I brought those smart, our SMART goals sheet again, just in case we need to refer to it.
Yes. Okay, I'm going to start on a scratch paper because again, I have to think, do my kind of outline and then pare that down into how does this make a sentence.
Sure.
So, okay, so what I'm thinking is experience and or practice using data collection tools, and I think I would like to try at least 2 different tools. I think that would be more beneficial than just doing one tool, but to try to and see which one I like better, why do I like it better, what information am I gleaning from each of it? The same information that looks different, or is it different information that I'm gleaning from them, you know?
Okay.
So I would like 2 different tools because I like that kind of compare-contrast idea. I think I learn more from that. Experience and practice using data collection tools, 2 different tools. And the why really is to gain confidence, to gain experience, and gain that buy-in, the belief in the tool. I don't know how to say that. Belief in the process, confidence in the process, not confidence in myself, because I believe that I have confidence in myself to use one, but confidence in the usefulness or importance of the tool.
Okay. And what about the why for the child?
The why for the child is going to be, well, and part of my wanting to see really the usefulness and importance of this is to be able to share a venue for sharing. I'm trying to think of how to say it. You know, like as I was saying, I feel like I can say, well, yes, I can see that this is happening during story time, and I can see that this is an avoidance of story time. And these 3 days, this teacher took them away from story time, did puzzles with them, and they were really rewarded with positive attention from trying to get out of it. But it's a venue for sharing information about that. I don't know how to say.
And I'm wondering, even before the sharing part of it,
It's a venue for information sharing.
you're collecting, you're finding out. I mean, what I hear you say is that you want to use a data tool to find out why the child.
Well, I know that's
Or
what it's
when
supposed to be for,
to
but
collect all the information.
I really, and see, that's one of my things where I feel skeptical, because I think I know why, and I think I know when. And I don't think I need a paper to tell me that. And I think that's part of my reluctance to this, is because, well, I know when it's happening and I know why it's happening. So that's maybe part of my reluctance. I know that's what the tool is for, and that's what people say the tool is for, and I'm thinking...
And to prove your hypothesis.
It's more like it, yeah, it would be approving my hypothesis, but I see a lot of value in, I guess I have a belief that there are going to be times that I'm surprised. I don't know everything that I think that I know. I think I'm going to get some surprises there. And I'm really seeing this as a venue for sharing that information with other people who might not... It's kind of like if you're really looking for negatives, you find them. If you're really looking for positives, you find them. So I think because I have a problem with the kid, I'm really looking for these things I've been trained to look for, and I've had a lot of years and experience and stuff in doing that. And so I'm seeing these things, and it's a venue for sharing those kinds of things that other people might not have that experience and stuff in looking for, and might not know how to look for those things or know what those things mean yet, you know? So it's a venue for sharing some of that.
Another strength
Yes.
associated to the objective.
I know that the information will help me with the why, the when it's happening, the why it's happening, and the when, the why of behavior, and the things that might be increasing or decreasing the behavior that are already happening in the day, the reinforcements for, and the reinforcements to stop, whatever those things might be. I think those will come out too, that we'll be able to see, oh,
So
they
you
wanted to get
mentioned-
attention and they got it, or, oh, they wanted to get attention and they're not getting it in this way.
So did you mention a tool specifically as one of the two tools, or
No.
was it a general?
No. I did not mention a tool specifically, because I know that I've seen some, but I don't know names and stuff. I could not mention two tools specifically at this point. I know I've seen different ones. I know there are ones that are like little checklists where I'm saying the degree of the behavior and how long it lasts and the different types of day. I know there are some that are just writing down individual incidents, what happened before, what happened during, specifically describing the behavior, and what happened after.
I thought I heard you say functional behavior assessment.
Well, yeah. Well, and I know that there's a couple different kinds of functional behavior assessments, though, too.
Okay.
And I don't know them enough because I've not used them. I don't know their different names. I know that there's a lot of different ones out there, and there's 3 or 4.
And that's the beauty of coaching on topic.
Yes, I know there were 3 or 4 presented in that pyramid, in the pyramid training, but I don't know what they are by name, and I think any of them would probably work just as well.
So it's sounding like Rachel will collect data using 2 tools, 2 functional behavior assessment tools
From Pyramid Plus or
from Pyramid Plus or
how do they word that? Or Pyramid Plus approved sites or Pyramid Plus sister sites, or I don't know the wording that they use, but those other sites that are connected with Pyramid Plus. Like the prevent, teach, reinforce, you know, those kinds of things.
Other research-based tools. And the why is to gain confidence. I just jotted down some of the things you said.
I think I want to use that word experience, because for me that word experience is encompassing learning about the buy-in, and it's learning about the semantics of using the tool. So to me that's both a physical experience and kind of the emotional experience.
To gain experience and using the tools.
Yeah.
Okay, do you want to mention who you're going to use the tools on?
If I need that, I have 2 kids in my head that I would say one of either these 2 children. So if someone ends up being on vacation, I'm not going to be trapped in a hole or something. But we do have 2 children who are exhibiting some behaviors that I think this could be helpful for.
And how long would you like to gather the information in terms of making it realistic for you? Are Are you thinking a week's worth? 3 days?
My first inclination was 3 days.
Okay.
My first inclination was, using each tool on 3 different days.
Would it be 3 consecutive days?
I'd like to say 3 days.
Okay.
My hope and my intention would be to say 3 consecutive, but again, I'm worrying about boxing myself in
Okay.
to vacations, or what if it ends up being a Friday, Monday, Tuesday, all those weird different things.
Okay.
I get sick, one of them's on vacation, all those different kinds of things.
Okay.
But at least three days of doing that.
Do you want to figure out days within a certain time frame? Like between June something and...
Or again, I like that, like within, to be completed within 2 weeks of the, not coaching on top of it, but when you are modeling it for me, modeling.
Okay.
So it's modeled for me, and then I have up to 2 weeks, which is a pretty long time period, and I don't think it's going to take that long. But again, I'm just feeling like I'm giving myself some flexibility.
2 weeks from modeling.
Yes, to be completed within 2 weeks of modeling.
Mm-hmm.
Be completed within 2 weeks of modeling. And like basing it around that modeling. So this is when I'm supposed to be set and ready to go, and so then I've got that set time frame around that time, so it's still fresh in my mind.
Okay. Now, did you want to use one tool for one child or one tool for the other child, or is it that you want to use the 2 different tools on whichever child is available?
Yes. So I've got tool A and tool B, and I would like to complete tool A 3 times, and I want to complete tool B 3 times. And those can be either on child 1, or they can be on child 2, or a mix of child 1 and 2. So if child 1 isn't here, I'm using this tool on child 2 today.
Okay.
So I might not end up with three A's on child 1. I might end up with 2 A's on child 1 and 1 A on child 2.
Okay. And let's make sure we have a time frame. Oh, how about, was there a specific, I'm thinking you're still talking about a certain behavior.
Yeah.
Because the reason why you would be collecting data is a certain behavior is happening.
Yes, well, on one kid, I can specifically say that that the issue that seems to be identified is going to nap.
Okay.
Napping is the hard time, so that's more related to a time, and there's some different behaviors exhibited within that time. The other child, it seems to be more a spattering of challenging behavior throughout the day, and it looks different at different times of the day. It depends on where we are, but it's kind of this consistent, oh, here we go again, oh, here we go again, and this time it was me throwing rocks, and this time it's me just, and this time it's me pinching someone, this time it's me kicking the teacher when they're trying to get me down for nap. It's a spattering throughout the day. Okay. So that's more of a, we're seeing challenging behavior. Let's see if we can link this challenging behavior to a specific need.
Okay. And are you going to be able to be there the entire day to catch all of those on that second one?
I will, well, during my work hours, and my work hours are...
When do you come back?
Next Monday.
Oh, okay.
Next Monday I come back, so by the time we're done with coaching and stuff, I'll be here.
Coaching on topic?
Yeah,
Okay,
the coaching and the modeling,
right.
all those things. Yeah,
Oh, good, okay.
yeah. And if I need to extend that into the next week or something, I can come in for a day and do some shadow marking and stuff, you know. I have flexibility around that to be able to do that, if I'm not able to do all that within that week. But, why am I looking at the clock? I don't know. Oh, because I'm there for the majority of the day, so I will be able to see breakfast outside, I mean, all that indoor time, outside, nap, outside.
Okay,
Yeah, so I'll be able to get a very good portion of the day. And my hope is to, my inclination, and this is something that's really, has been kind of building a little bit, but then I'm hearing reports that it's like really bad now. They're like, just, when you come back, it's kind of building, and I'm really, my inclination is that that the kid just really needs attention.
okay.
So this will either prove or disprove that theory.
So, let's see, so one of the other,
Or maybe it's transitions.
so one of the needs for, areas for improvement associated with this objective, one of them you stated was needing experience in collecting data with the actual tools, and another one was need to see importance of using the tools. And then I also heard you say that you need to know what the tools are, because you weren't sure about the names of them.
Yeah, I don't know the names.
Okay, so tools available. Okay. Okay. All right, so do you think we could, with the information that we have, then get it into 1 or 2 sentences in a real concise way?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I haven't been taking as many notes because I've been letting you do that. So I was liking how you were starting that. Rachel
Will
will collect data.